Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
Hey, have you heard the news? Some of you know what I'm talking about, and some of you are not so sure, but it'll all make sense. I've got a Facebook account, and I've got 4,000 or so friends on there, just like in real life. And I know that Facebook has become very, very uncool in the last couple of years, but hey, a lot of people still use it for whatever purposes. And so I've got a Facebook account, and I got a friend request yesterday from somebody who wouldn't speak to me in high school. And she was quite popular, and I doubt that she and I ever exchanged words or any conversation after like 7th or 8th grade maybe. But she sent me a friend request, right? And so now I've got friends on Facebook who I've known since high school, and some of them would have known her, but I didn't know her that well, but she sent me a friend request. So I accepted the friend request. And nothing after that. And so I went and looked at her page, and I realized her page hadn't been used by her in 5 or 6 years. So I suspected something might be up. And sure enough, I got the message from her this morning. And it said, "Hey, Steve, have you heard the news about the DHHS checks?" And what'll happen is you'll get a friend request, often from somebody you know, but you can also get them from just strangers. And they'll say, "Have you heard the news?" And that's often the opening sentence. For some odd reason, that sentence appears to work. And so they go, "Have you heard the news?" And if you go, "What news?" They'll say, "Oh, about the free money, or about the free checks, or about the COVID money, or about the surplus checks from the IRS. The IRS has got too much money. They're just giving it away." And they'll claim that there's a way that you can get this money. I'm surprised you didn't know about this. You hadn't heard the news. And so they'll sit there and they'll say all this stuff about, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you didn't know this." And if you lead them on, which if you've got the time, I would recommend you do this just for fun. You go, What are you talking about? What? And they'll say, "Oh, you can get $19,000 for free. All you've got to do is fill out this application, and my friend can help you with that." And so what'll happen is they will then pass you off to somebody else. They get a finder's fee if you fall for it. And the person they pawn you off to is going to do one of two things. Either ask you for all your personal information, such as your social security number, where you live, and your mother's maiden name, whatever it is. They need this information to fill out this application on your behalf. And of course, once they've got the information, they can just, steal your identity. Or they're going to say that they need some upfront money to get this application going. But what's $500 and you're getting $19,000 in return of free money? And so that's the scam. They're trying to scam you. Okay, they're not trying to give you free money. But the number of times I've gotten messages from strangers or someone from a hijacked Facebook page that began with, "Have you heard the news? Have you heard the news?" So if anybody, in fact, I think Facebook should actually say that if you send a message that begins with "Have you heard the news?" your account should just be deleted. But be that as it may, it's the free money, and they're trying to get you to give them some money, which they're going to steal from you. And they're doing it to make you think that you're going to give the free money to get yourself some "Have you heard the news" money. The other one that's going around, and I've seen this one quite a bit, and it actually happens both in messages people send me, but also people will post a message on Facebook itself, but tag people in it. And they'll say, "He died. I think you knew him." He died. I think you knew him. And then there's a link they want you to click. And of course, your curiosity is piqued, as we say, when somebody says that, "I think you knew this guy who died." Because you're going to go, "Oh, who died?" But they don't say who died. And by the way, looking at the link, you can't tell who it is that they're talking about. And what that is, that's a malicious link. That if you click on that link and follow it, bad things will happen, okay? So if they send you a note that says, "He died, I think you knew him," don't click on it. Nobody that you might have known died, especially if the person who's sending you the link doesn't know you. How would they know if you knew him who died? So that is a malicious link. And then the other one somebody sent me a note about just yesterday, and I've seen this a couple times, but not as many, but these things do tend to come and go in waves, is the one that says, "Someone just ran a background check on you, and it turned up some bad stuff. Do you want to know who ran the background check on you? Click here." Or it'll say, "Would you like to see the background check that revealed these bad things about you? Click here." It's malicious links they want you to click on. That's all it is. So be aware of the, have you heard the news? He died, I think you knew him. Or someone just ran a background check on you. Now, one of the interesting things about a lot of these is they come from hijacked Facebook pages. So when I looked at the woman's Facebook page, the one who wouldn't speak to me in high school, she had not posted on her page in several years. And I remember a while back when she was active and she commented on one of my friends' pages. We had mutual friends. I remember thinking to myself, oh, wow, she's on Facebook. I remember her. But that was it. And of course, she stopped posting thereafter and she left Facebook. But somebody apparently managed to get in and hijack her page. I suspect that her security wasn't that good on it. But I have to tell you this. I have messed with quite a few of these people. So when I get the one that says, have you heard the news? I did not do this yesterday, but I've done this before. I'll say, what news? And they'll say, oh, the free money from DHHS or from the IRS or from the Treasury Department or whatever it might be. And I'll go, oh, I haven't heard about that. Tell me more. And you just get them to sit there and work with you because it's wasting their time. Waste your time also. That's the downside. And then what's funny is I've actually written back and said, does this really still work? Don't most people know what this is all about? And they'll stick to their guns for a little bit. And they'll say, what are you talking about? This is free money. You can get this free money. All you've got to do is, give my friend Bob some gift cards and he can get you the free money. And I will then respond and go, I am an attorney and I specialize in taking down consumer scams. Do you want to continue having this discussion? And about 50-50, about half the people will block me when I say that. They will block me. But I've actually had a person ignore that and go, do you want my friend Bob's contact information or not? And then I'll ask, you don't know what an attorney is, do you? And some of these people don't actually speak English very well. So they're in other parts of the world, and they're sitting in an internet cafe, and they're just sitting there bombarding people with Facebook messages about, have you heard the news regarding the free money? But I have to tell you that if you really wondered if somebody had contacted you and it's an old page and you go, but Steve, what if that really was that woman from high school? After all these years, she realized she should have spoken to you. It's an easy enough solution because I could go look at her About Me page and see what's listed there because that's all the hijacker is going to know about her page, and then ask a question that she would know the answer to if she was really who she was. And you ask that question, and then they will go silent because they don't know how to respond to it. And at that point, they'll come back with, well, do you want the money or don't you? It's free money. So my recommendation to you, obviously, is to block these people and delete them. Okay? So delete the conversation, block their page. If you don't know how to block somebody's page on Facebook, it's not that hard to do, but if you're a friend of theirs, you can go to their page, click on their page, and over on the right-hand side, there's a little box with 3 dots in it. And I think that's the one you click, and the pull-down menu has block at the bottom. You click block, and it'll say, do you really want to block this person? Because if you block this person, they can't communicate with you, you can't communicate with them. They just want to make sure you understand what the word block means. And you click, yes, I want to block this person, and that'll be the end of that conversation. The real question I have is, and I ask the scammers this from time to time, does this really still work? It must work, because they keep doing it. I don't know at what level it works or how often it works, but I still hear about people who get ripped off for gift cards and money and whatnot from people they met over the internet and they thought they knew the person or something like that. But you have to understand how easy it is to hijack somebody's page or create a clone page. I've had a lot of friend requests and it'll say the person's name with their picture. And I'm thinking to myself, I think I'm already friends with this person, but I'm not sure. Oh, well, maybe they made a mistake. So I'll friend them. And then I'll get the message going, have you heard the news? And so then when I search for them in my friends list, they pop up twice. The new page, which was cloned, and the old page, which is real. So I'll delete the new page, block them, and send a note to my real friends, say, hey, just to let you know, someone's cloned your page and they're sending out friend requests and trying to rip people off with the have you heard the news scam. And many people don't understand that you can go to somebody's page, click on their photographs, right-click them, download them to your computer, and use them to start a cloned page. Takes about 30 seconds, longer than it would take to create a real page. So it's very, very easy to do. The other scam I've mentioned before happens on Facebook all the time. Someone will contact you that you don't know, and they'll say, hey, I've got a problem. Are you around right now? Can you help me a little bit of a problem? And you say, sure, what's the problem? And they say, I'm locked out of my account right now, and I need help. And Facebook says I have to have somebody else on Facebook help me get back into my account. Well, number one, if they're locked out of their account, how are they communicating with you? And number two, why would Facebook say if someone else vouches for you, we'll let you back in, when Facebook can figure out what's going on? And so what they'll then do, if you agree to help them, is they will try to log on to your page. And when they try to log on to your page, it'll say, what's your password? And down below it says, have you forgotten your password? And they'll click yes. And it'll say, what do you want us to do? It'll go, send the password. So they'll click send the password, and the password gets sent to you. And then this person will say, Facebook just sent you the password that will allow me to get back into my account. Can you please send that to me? And now you're going to think to yourself, well, how could this possibly hurt me? Because I didn't request anything. No, they requested something posing as you. And so if you send them that unlock code or that password, they can then use it to get into your page, change your password to something you don't know, and now you're locked out of your page. And I actually knew somebody that happened to, and it was a huge page for people who liked Mopar. And it was like a Mopar fan page, or I forgot the exact title of it. But there was this Mopar fan page that I believe had tens of thousands of followers, and it was extremely active. It was a really, really cool community. And I remember one day I logged on, and it was filled with ads for junk from China and dating apps and all kinds of crazy stuff. Had nothing to do with Mopars. And somebody after that posted a note in another Mopar page and said, just to let everyone know, our page got hijacked, and we can't get it back. And this was a few years ago, and apparently somebody had simply, I don't know, brute force or something, but had gotten their password, and hijacked their page. And when the people who ran the page approached Facebook, Facebook pulled the old, well, we don't really know who's telling the truth here. Because they say that they've had this page the whole time. You say you've had it the whole time, and quite frankly, trying to get hold of a person at Facebook is like trying to get good customer service from Wells Fargo. So that page, I don't believe, ever came back. Or if it did, it came back by somebody who simply rebuilt it from scratch. And so the reason, of course, the hijackers hijacked that page was because of the fact that it had so many followers that for a while they could bombard those people with ads for cheap junk from China. So there you go. But the have you heard the news scam, it's so dumb and it's so old that every time I see it now, I think to myself, like, it's hearing a bad joke over and over and over again. But the funny part here for me was it was sent to me ostensibly by somebody that I knew from high school. And now I understand that I'm a young guy. But high school was more than a couple of years ago for me. And so I remember a lot of the names from high school. But a lot of these people I wouldn't recognize today unless they reminded me and told me who they were, because it's been a while. It's been a while. But when I saw that I'd gotten a friend request from this particular person from high school, my first thought was, she wouldn't friend me now because she wouldn't friend me back then. So that was the first clue. Second clue is, have you heard the news? So I've unfriended and I blocked her. And I hope that wasn't her, but it wasn't. Questions or comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. The truth about it is, it all goes by real quick. You can't buy happiness, but you can buy dirt.